The 7 big mistakes coaches and consultants make that are stuck at 6 figures, and what does it take to get to 7 figures and beyond?
Hi everyone, my name is Shakir Hussain, founder of funnels.com, author of the book Backpack Millionaire. Before I turned 30 years old, I generated $30 million cash.
After helping over 2,000 plus business owners, coaches, consultants, course creators, experts, I can just look at this and be like, okay, as soon as I have one phone call with them, these are the mistakes they're making. If you do this, it's going to add an extra 50K a month. Oh, here's the reason why you're stuck. I'm making 5, 10, 15, 20K a month, and you're not scaling to 50K, 100K a month, or even 300K to 500K per month. What's the big difference? So number one big mistake is people are selling their time, not transformation. And what we want to do is we want to move from just hourly based coaching or hourly based products and services, like, oh yeah, if you pay me $500 or $1,000, I'll spend the whole day with you. We want to go from that to selling packages. And when we sell packages, and here's the important thing, we want to sell these packages based on solving painful problems that attract premium price clients that are able and willing and happy to give you a premium priced program. I'll give you an example of one of my clients, Jamal. He was charging like 500 to I think £1,000 a day for his consulting career. He was stuck at 6 figures per year for many, many years. I think he's been doing it for like a decade. So he joined my Funnels Accelerator program where we install client acquisition systems to help him scale from 6 figures to 7 figures. He started charging $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for package-based services. So he would include, instead of just hourly, he would include a package, a group coaching program. He would include in-person, where he would fly out and do keynote events. He would do year-long programs. He would include certifications. What this did was enable him from going from doing one-on-one work to one-to-many. That's the key problem that I see most coaches, consultants, course creators, experts, service providers, they all face. Another one of my clients, Dr. Holly from Seattle, Washington, she was charging maybe $1,000 to $3,000 for her service, but she was targeting parents that wanted to send their kids to private schools like Ivy League schools in America. What I did with her was I positioned her package as a premium price offer, and she started attracting parents that could happily be able to afford 5, 10K, even 12K packages. Just 2 days ago, she messaged me saying one parent is going to pay her $30,000 to help their kid go into this Ivy League university. So what she's done is she's removed low ticket programs and she's removed hourly coaching to package-based programs, right? And so when you're selling in this manner, you're able to sell transformation, not time. That's the key. So anytime you feel like, why am I getting stuck in my current business? Ask yourself, are you selling time or are you selling transformation? Okay, so next big mistake people make is they focus on their product so much as if they just like, this product is going to be like, I've spent years making this product, and then forcing the market to sell to the market versus saying, hey, this is what the market demands, and I am going to create a product to appeal to that market. Okay, so I'm going to create a product that meets this demand of my ideal customer profile. And the reason why this is important is because if you create a product based on demand, you can create a wait list of prospects coming to you instead of you chasing them. Secondly, you can dictate and determine how much the price point needs to be to meet your own income goal. For example, if you wanted to make $1 million in the next 12 months, you can get there by selling thousands and tens of thousands of people at $50 or $100, or you could just focus on solving 100 people's problems for $10,000. And if you create a product or service that appeals to that specific person that has $10,000 to invest, your life is much more easier. Your goals of hitting 7 figures is way more easier. Does that make sense? And so one of the first things I do with all of my clients is I figure out, how do we remove yourself from selling your time? How do we create products and services based on your IP, your frameworks, your methodologies? How do we create expert-led frameworks that you as the go-to expert creates a category of one, so you don't have to compete with other people, and it's an offer that you can build that will stay with you for years and even decades to come. I have products that I've been selling for 5, 10, even 12 years running right now. I created them over a decade ago. Till now, they are still profitable. They still bring in as much as 6 figures every single month because I created this over 10 years ago. So keep that in mind. Next thing that we want to do is making sure that all of our marketing is speaking to one ideal client profile. We're not speaking to 5, 10 different profiles. We're speaking to who is our ideal customer. So in my business, as you can tell, I primarily speak to people, freelancers, coaches, consultants, business owners that are at least at 6 figures or multiple 6 figures, and they want to scale to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, and 8 figures. So think about where I'm meeting them. I'm meeting them at, say, 6-figure level, and I'm showing them the path on how I could help them get to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. Like most people that are making 100 grand a year, they would dream to make $1 million a year. I've been making $1 million a year, well, way more than $1 million a year for over a decade. I scaled to $1 million a year. I scaled to $1 million a month at the age of 28. This is over a decade ago. I've even had $1 million day for one of my services for a single service. You know, I sold him a domain name that I bought for $5,000. So that was my $1 million day. And again, my entire marketing frameworks, funnels methodology, one-to-many selling, the one-to-many VSL formula, the one-to-many high-ticket programs, everything that I mention and I talk about primarily comes to talking to one ideal prospect, someone who's a 6-figure business owner. So the mistakes most people make when they're stuck at 6 figures is they trying to talk to everyone instead of talking to one person. I did this recently with a fitness coach where he's like, I can help any person lose weight. And I'm like, well, what if we were talking to one person and we surgically, precisely targeted one person? Just focus on just one person. After identifying, instead of saying, oh, I help people lose weight, it's I help CEOs get more energy, shed pounds without killing themselves in the gym. So that's a much more targeted message to one type of business owner. And who's going to pay $5, $10, $20,000 for a health transformation offer? It's going to be someone with money. Who are people with money? It's CEOs, it's business owners. It's not your normal average everyday Joe Schmoes, right? And so if you are selling fitness, do you want to sell fitness to anyone and everyone? Or do you want to sell fitness to people who can comfortably and easily pay you what you want? So keep this in mind. If you're selling relationships and relationship advice, do you want to just sell to anyone that needs help? Or do you want to sell to entrepreneurs who need marriage advice, entrepreneurs who are on the brink of divorce? A lot of people get divorced these days. So if you are a love coach, a relationship coach, who do you want to target? You want to target just a normal couple that make maybe 50, 100 grand a year? Or do you want to target the business owner who's making a couple of $100 grand a year or a couple of $1 million a year, who's happy to pay you 5, 10, 25K to get some marriage consulting, right? It's who you speak to will determine how much money you can charge. Next one, you're posting for the wrong metrics. And I call this vanity metrics, right? You're focusing on people that you think that you want to go viral. You're posting for the sake of posting content. You're killing yourself posting endless content, random stuff that doesn't get you leads. Okay, that random stuff that doesn't make you money. I see one of my new client that just joined us, and I was checking out his Instagram profile, and he's like posting pictures of himself and selfies of him in the gym and like pictures of coffee. No one cares. Nobody cares. No one is going to buy from you because you're posting your coffee pictures. No one is going to buy from you just because you're posting a bunch of gym selfies. Okay. Now, if you post gym selfies and then you share some content which inspires your ideal customer, then it's different. Okay. Then your content is leading to a sale. And how I like to teach my clients, we give them an entire formula of when how to turn cold prospects into high ticket customers. This is the main engine, by the way, that you need in order for your business to scale from 6 figures to 7 figures, to turn ice cold strangers into high ticket customers. I call it the cold to sold machine, and we turn ice cold strangers into high ticket customers in as little as 24 to 72 hours. How do we do that? We accelerate the buyer's growth journey in a process called TOFU, MOFU, BOFU. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. So let me explain to you just a few basic overview of what this means. Give me a second. Let me just pull this up. This is one of the frameworks that we go through in our 3-day virtual event. By the way, I'm hosting one of these 3-day virtual events. If you are someone who needs help to turn your expertise into high price programs, you want to charge higher pricing, premium offers, you want to attract premium level clients, and you want to do this with what we call one-to-many selling systems, then join the funnels.com/challenge. There should be a link on the first description, on the description. I'm going to share with you in much more detail. But here's the overview of top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. So on top of funnel, we would create short form content. We would create low ticket products, written content, maybe on Facebook. We would give away lead magnets to educate our prospects. 5 mistakes people make in business. That's top of funnel, okay? Middle of funnel, I would say something like how to scale to 6 figures using Instagram. It's much more like people that are a lot more aware. So top is awareness and people that are interested. Then once we got their attention, middle is where we give them a little bit more specific content. Okay, 5 ways to grow on Instagram, 5 lead magnets that you can use. You get that? Okay, the middle. And then the bottom of funnel would be stuff like, here's my VSL that's going to walk you through the 4 steps to getting more customers on demand. Here's a Google Doc that's going to show you how to work with me on a one-on-one basis. Here's retargeting ads. Here's an email follow-up system that I would send to you. Here's a tactical, like, 3 specific things you can do right now to grow your business to 7 figures. Here's the webinar formula that you can use to attract the next 30 days. We have an entire blueprint that we go through in detail during the 3-day summit. If you want to learn more, just go to funnels.com/summit. But the bottom line is this: we want to get the right people into our ecosystem, top of funnel, the middle of funnel, where we're educating them. We want to have minimum 7 to 14 hours of content. Just think of it like this: every hour of content someone consumes from you, they'll spend $1,000. So if you want to sell high ticket, like let's just say 10 grand, you want to have 10 hours of content that shifts beliefs, that challenges your prospects. So they look at it and they're like, oh my gosh, he's right. That's what I need help with. Okay, now I understand he's the guy or he's the girl that can help me. The content should make your prospects feel like they are understood. Okay, so that you want to talk about, hey, what happens if you don't take action? So they're listening to this and they're like, oh my gosh, like if I don't take action, I am going to get stuck, lose money, I'm going to waste time. It's going to affect me in a negative way, right? So you want to challenge your prospects in your content. Does that make sense? Okay, and then again, bottom of funnel, that's where you get them to raise their hand, convert, then they become a customer. And then, for customer, we can make them an irresistible, what I call a mafia offer. If you don't have a mafia offer that gets someone to say, oh my gosh, like, are you serious? I need this right now. Then you're missing a mafia offer. I will go over my mafia offer framework. It's the same 8-figure offer that I give to my clients, my paying clients. You can get your hands on this if you join the 3-day challenge. So make sure you go to funnels.com/summit. Go and get registered for this. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you need more help, like I said, come and join. This will also get you out of the post more for content marketing. Okay, posting more doesn't make you money. Posting strategically the right things your ideal prospects needs to hear, that's what gets you money. I know people that have been promoting content for months and even years. Like, I've had a client recently come to me. She's a lovely lady in her 50s, maybe even in the 60s. I think she's in her 50s, late 50s. She's been promoting content. I think she said to me like for 5 or 6 years. She doesn't even have 1,000 followers. She doesn't even have $10,000, $20,000 a month coming in, because she's speaking to the wrong people in the wrong random things, thinking if I just post more, hopefully someone will like post, and pay doesn't work for the person to come in and convert. That's the okay. I see so many good-hearted people struggle with this, and you want to keep this in mind. Content without conversion is entertainment. You don't want to be an entertainer, okay? Unless that's what you want to be, okay? I help people that want to turn their content into conversations, into conversions, because ultimately conversions is what creates money. Okay, I call this my convert formula. How do you turn ice cold strangers into high ticket customers? And one of the formulas that I've created is called the convert formula. I'll make another video on this another day, but if you want to become a 7-figure coach, you gotta create sales pipelines, not popularity. That's the key difference. Mistake number 5, and this is something which is gonna be challenging. You might even get pissed off and annoyed by hearing this, but it's your personality. Your personality creates your reality. If you have a personality where you are like, oh, but I'm not salesy, oh, I don't want to sell stuff, then guess what? You're not going to make money. You're not going to get the results that you want. If you say to yourself, oh, I don't want to come across salesy, or I'm afraid to sell, I'm afraid to charge more, well, then you're going to get stuck with the brokey bros, the looky-loos, the people that are just curious, they're not serious. You're going to find prospects that will waste your time. This is a big thing that I've come across with people that are usually in the 6-figure per year range. They're so timid in terms of like, hey, here's what I've got. They're so uncomfortable asking for money. But then I ask them, hey, how long have you been doing this? And they're like, oh, 10 years. Oh, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've got multiple degrees. And I'm like, I don't even have a single degree. Well, like, why are you so afraid of charging high ticket? And that really comes down to a confidence issue, an issue where they feel lots of imposter syndrome, where they don't have enough conviction in what they're offering or what I found, okay, and this is how I help my customers. I just tell them, hey, listen, come and learn how to package it, position it, and promote yourself in a way where you're attracting the right prospects. And once you get a handful, 5, 10, 20 people paying you a premium rate, say $5, $10, $20,000 each, then it becomes much more easier because now you have confidence. Obviously, I can speak with so much confidence and conviction because I've had 1,000 plus high ticket clients. I've had like 200 and something people pay me 50, 60 grand. I've had over 35 people pay me over 6 figures each. My top client, Russell Brunson, has paid me $1.3 million. And I've got many other clients in the multiple 6-figure range. So obviously it's a little bit more different. That's why I can speak with so much confidence and clarity and conviction. But if you're not there yet, which most likely you're not, that's why you're watching this video, you got to figure out, okay, where are my testimonials? Who's my best case studies? Let me showcase their results. Let me showcase their results so that people will know, like, and trust me. And then let me create content that converts. This is a huge thing that I have seen, that if you do, you're going to see results. Okay, so that's mistake number 5, which is understanding that it is your personality. Okay, your personality creates your new reality. If you want to have a new reality, you got to have a new personality. Check out this background. Wow, isn't it so crazy beautiful? And the crazy thing is, I just can't get over it. There's not another person. Okay, I can see it. A couple? No, I think they work in the hotel. No one else is here. So wild. Okay, so next one that I am going to share with you. Okay, so biggest mistake, again, 6-figure entrepreneurs make, is they get too attached to their identity and their product, and they think that no one else can do it as good as them. Whereas a 7-figure coach consultant, what they realize is that for them to go from 6 figures to 7 figures, they have to package their insights, their frameworks, their IP, their methodology into a product or service that can scale without them. When you let go of control, your income will go up. If you want to make more money in 2026, you want to hit 7 figures, you have to let go of control. That means you have to hire people, whether it's mentors, assistant, marketing help, tech help, so that they can remove a lot of the work from yourself so you can focus on high leverage activities and focus on your genius zone versus you trying to do everything yourself. Okay, next one. Okay, mistake number 6. This is a big one. You're solving symptoms, not root problems. This is when, clients will come to me and they'll say, hey, I have this problem. So for example, they'll say something like, their leads aren't converting. Okay, now what that is a symptom, but they're stuck on saying my leads aren't converting, so therefore what they're doing is not working. But we have to go to the actual root. So the leads aren't converting. Why? Because the messaging that they have is wrong. The messaging is attracting anyone and everyone. Why? Because they are operating from a place of scarcity where they feel like they need to talk to everyone and then not miss out everyone. And in that sense, they're not talking to anyone. Okay, why is that? Because they don't have a mafia offer. They don't have an offer that sells itself. They don't have a high ticket offer. Okay, why is that? Because they're afraid of charging more. Why is that? Because they don't have confidence and conviction in the products and services or how they've packaged it. Why is that? It's because they've been conditioned, maybe from school, college, university, in their 9-to-5 job, of being in a specific way. Why is that? Because of how they grew up. Okay, so if we go down to the root, then we quickly realize, okay, we're trying to solve the symptom with the wrong information. What we want to do is instead of solving the symptom, like I have bad leads, we want to go right to the root. Okay, so if you say, oh, my leads don't convert, therefore all leads, all paid ads suck. No, paid ads suck because you don't have a highly efficient machine that converts their traffic, the cold customers on social media, to high paying clients. Does that make sense? So here's what I mean by this. If you have bad leads from social media and you're spending money on Facebook traffic, the symptoms is that they're not buying. The root cause is you haven't created the high converting content that pre-sells the person and amplifies your authority. Does that make sense? And then you haven't hit the 9 triggers of persuasion to get them pre-sold, pre-motivated, predisposed, and excited to buy from you. Then the funnel or the process that you're taking them through, you've taken them through the wrong process. You're just letting people book in on your calendar instead of taking them through a VSL, a one-to-many selling system. And then after that, you're not overcoming any objections. You don't have follow-up videos, follow-up texts, follow-up messages. You don't have a setter doing your triage call, qualifying that lead. So now you're just getting leads and you're like, oh my gosh, like they're bad leads. They don't have any money. But you've missed like 27 steps beforehand, right? So if we can figure out the root problem of all of your issues as a 6-figure coach or consultant and infopreneur, then we can exponentially grow, okay? I know because every single time I've been stuck in different age income ranges, for example, I was stuck at, 6 figures a year for 2 years. Then I got stuck at 7 figures a year, like 2 million to 3 million to 6 million-ish per year for about 3-4 years. Then I unlocked that to the next one and to the next one and to the next one. And this is exactly how I went from at 21 years old, buried in debt, broke, to generating $30 million cash collected at the age of 30, before the age of 30. How did I do that? And at that time, I built multiple 7 and even 8-figure businesses and brands. How? Because I kept identifying what's the root cause of this. Okay, this is the symptom. I got bad leads. Okay, where is in the pipeline that I need to solve the root problems? Okay, if you can do this, your business will grow exponentially. I do this all the time with clients. I do this with myself. I do this with high-paying clients, like one-on-one CMO type clients where they pay me 6 figures plus equity and percentage of the businesses. And so that's something I've learned to do. Identify the root cause, the reason why you're not growing on social media. What is it? Is it that you're not posting enough, or is it that you haven't identified who the right client is and created content only for them? So when they watch your content, they feel like, man, this person understands me. Okay. Mistake number 7, and this is something I learned, which is, and I learned it even at, making multiple 8 figures, which is you're playing small because it feels safe to play small. And you'll say you want to make 7 figures, but then you're underpricing, you're over delivering, you're avoiding visibility, you're waiting for confidence, or as if like something's going to come and save you. No one is going to come and save you. Not me, not any YouTube video, not any mentor, not guide. You have to make the commitment first that will build the courage within yourself so that you can go out and do more things, that will build new capabilities, and that will increase your confidence. And then it just becomes a never-ending growth cycle. Okay, I learned this from Dan Sullivan when I paid him $35,000. It's like the reason why you will stay stuck is because this is your current commitment level. This is your current comfort level. So when you create a bigger goal and then you're really committed to it, now you're going to take actions that will determine how you become and how you show up in the world with more confidence. Okay, commitment leads to confidence. More confidence will lead you to taking more action. That's what's going to determine higher levels of competence, and you're going to develop more levels of capabilities, new skills, and that reinforces your levels of commitment, confidence, competency, capabilities, and then it goes round and round, and that's how you become unstoppable. So if you can overcome these 7 big mistakes that most coaches face, then you can unlock the next level of scale to 7 figures and then to even 8 figures and beyond. And if you like videos like this, be sure to subscribe, leave me a comment for the algo, and I'll be making more videos like this. If you want to go deep with me for 3 days virtually on Zoom, funnels.com/summit, and then go and register for this 3-day virtual event that I'm doing. I'll see you in the next video.